No.
Big Meech.
We're here.
My man Alex just
It's different this time.
What's up, guys?
Go.
What's up, guys? Terry is finally back, so I can finally say Terry and Trey. And we end our 5-game losing streak. So are you causing us to win because you went out of the country? What's going on?
Listen, well, it's funny. Hawaii is technically not out of the country, but it feels like it. Hawaii's an amazing place. Move there ASAP. Now, when it comes to the Knicks, funny thing is, we're doing well. I go away. It falls apart. I come back, winning again. New York needs your boy. New York needs your boy. And you know who we need? You know who we need? We need to thank Tom Thibodeau for having his birthday today. The guys played with extra vigor. Happy birthday, Tibbs.
Happy 63rd birthday to Tom Thibodeau. And thank goodness the team, and I want to stress the team, did not let him down tonight. And I also want to quickly say, because somebody said, if we only tape when they win. And no, that's really not the case, but I know it may seem that way, but I'm glad that you're back. I'm glad that we won this game tonight. I have a question. How is it that we are, look at this score against Boston, right? Now, granted, the number one player was out, right?
Tatum, yep, COVID.
How is it that we are able to win by quite large margins, I might add, to some of these elite teams in the league? And then the teams that we're supposed to be winning against, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, it's not happening. So how is it that we're able to step up so well against these teams?
This has been a Knick problem even outside of Tibbs for a long time, right? Playing up or down to the opposition. What I think it is with Tibbs specifically in this iteration of this Knicks team is we really do thrive on competition, playing hard, and we have so much depth when it works well that we can overpower teams' benches. What you saw today was, even though obviously the Celtics were shorthanded, our effort level was just there from the jump, and they just couldn't handle it. And, my prediction this season was 30 and 42. And the reason I came up with that is because I see us winning a lot of these effort games, like really good teams during the regular season, just do not play that hard the whole way through. They have the playoffs to play for, right? So you see this where you can catch a team like the Bucks on an off night and kill them. You catch the Celtics now, you kill them. If we can win these games on occasion and then beat the teams we're supposed to beat, we are definitely going to end up as like an 8, 9, 10 seeded team, which is where I think, hopefully we're heading. Obviously, that 5-game losing streak just kind of like took all the optimism out of what was an incredible start to the season. Yeah. But the truth is, we were never as good as 5 and 3, and we were never as bad as 0 and 5. We are in the middle. We're like Goldilocks.
Looking for that perfect mix of everything, right? Now, I know we want to talk about some guys, and I think we just got to go right there, right off the bat. This kid, his energy, my favorite play was him diving under Mike Woodson's legs. It just showed his hungriness. It showed his energy. He had a big grin on his face. Mike kind of moved his legs, and it was like, yeah, I'm here. I loved it. I love what he brings to the team. And he's a rookie. Someone the other day was, I think one of the kids I was talking to, actually, they were kind of like, oh, Immanuel. And I was like, no, but he's a rookie. He's like now playing. Like, let him play. Like, let him do his thing. And I have nothing but positive compliments for him. Nothing but positive compliments for him.
It's everything we've been saying since the first time we saw him play. His energy is infectious. He's hitting that floater. His actions as a point guard. He just gets everyone in the right spot. He doesn't hold the ball too long. He can shoot. He's young. He plays defense. IQ just does all the little things we've liked from the point guards we've had for the last 5-6 years. He does a little bit of all of that in one player. He's a rookie. He's the steal of the draft. I know you had a couple of rough games when I was away in Hawaii. I see you, IQ. I know you. I wasn't there to support, so I see you, man. But now he's back. I'm glad that Tibbs is giving him the minutes. Obviously, we want him to start. It's very close to happening. And you can see that Tibbs has been playing him with the starters more. Even in a game like this, it was a blowout. He had IQ out there late playing with the starters. I'm going to give you his last 3 games, right?
Right.
So this is tonight, 17 points, 1 steal, 8 assists. The game before, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. The game before, 19 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. These numbers with his shooting and the way he's playing, these are not just, he's good for a rookie. This is good for the league numbers. IQ, this is going to sound crazy, but if he gets minutes, he could win Rookie of the Year or at least be on the All-Rookie first team, which is crazy. You think of where we drafted him. So I have to say, they knocked that draft out the park. Obi, we're going to talk about Obi as well. He did well tonight. It's time for IQ to start. I know we've been doing this Peyton thing, but Outfit is getting harder and harder to watch. IQ just brings so much more to the team, and I think it's close to happening. So I'm hoping it happens soon, because I think once IQ gets to really take off, we're just going to see this all the time.
Right. He also doesn't play that. Not that he doesn't play in minutes. Sorry. When you look at his minutes versus his points, they're always good numbers. Like he played today, 21 minutes, and also, you know, him like you said, him coming in at the draft where we got him was great for us. And I forgot my other point I was going to make about him. It just kind of escaped me, but it will come back. But again, you know, love the energy that he brings to the team every single time. And you spoke about him starting. And everyone's contemplating about, you know, he should be starting over Peyton. The thing is, it doesn't necessarily matter if he starts or not, because he's finishing really well and he's playing important minutes. So my thing is, sometimes, you know, you put someone to start and it's a lot of pressure. You're in the starting lineup. For some players, they actually do play better coming off the bench because the pressure is not on as hard. And he is getting great minutes. Look at the times of the game when Tibbs is putting him into play. You can clearly see that he depends, relies, and has a lot of trust in him, knowing that he's going to bring this to the game. So yes, I know we want to see him in the starting lineup, but I think he seems quite comfortable coming off the bench, and he's playing well coming off the bench. What if you put him in the starting lineup and then he doesn't play as well? Think about that too.
So I generally agree with your point, and I agreed with it early in the season. My whole thing was season starting, throw a rookie out there at the beginning. You know, it's a lot, right?
Right.
But at this point now, what are we? We're over, obviously, what are we, like 10, 13, 14 games into the season now at this point. But I guess the first 15 games, you could call it the first quarter of the season, so to speak. IQ, apart from, being injured, a couple of rough games there, he has clearly now outplayed everyone going back to preseason. Right? There's a point where it's like, yeah, but if he's literally just better than the other guys, you're holding him back. There's a point, right? You wouldn't tell anyone right now, like RJ struggled a lot, did really well tonight. Past couple games, he's been doing a bit better. You would never say, oh, let's bench RJ during those times because he's not. No, it's like RJ's your lead guy, play him. And the thing about IQ is, had he not been the 25th pick, had he been the number 8 pick instead of Obi, right now, it would be insane to not start him. So I would say this: when you have a guy like this who just seems to, every time you challenge him, right, he just takes it there and takes it to the next level. He doesn't have that nervousness about him. He's out there playing free. I
don't think he ever had it. Like
exactly.
Ever. Like meaning like in life. I don't think he ever had whatever that nervousness is.
He doesn't have it.
You just mentioned Obi, so our second rookie. Is this only his third game playing? I
think so. I mean, I'm on Hawaii time, so you gotta.
Only his third game playing, and him and Quickley definitely have a little rapport going on as our rookies out there, and some nice points from him too. I mean, this was nice. This was nice. He also seemed pretty confident on the court, and it was nice to see him play because this was our draft pick, right? So it was nice to actually see him on the court.
Yeah, with Obi, he gets in the pick and pop today with Quickley. We had that nice little pick and roll dish, that chemistry building, hopefully. Remember, these are the guys, I think, was Obi who called Quickley or Quickley who called Obi. Whoever it was said, yo, let's turn this thing around right after the draft. So I think they both have that demeanor, that vibe. They're both like fun-loving guys. They seem to love the sport, love playing. With Obi, his shooting's looking good. Now, there's been a bit of worry with Obi. Obviously, he's been injured. Randle's playing these crazy minutes, and Randle has emerged to be such a better player this season. It's kind of hard to see where Obi fits and how he will fit. Good to see him get in here. Tibbs wants to play him. He played him 57 seconds that game, and people were pissed. But it was the first game back. Obviously, Tibbs wants to give him more minutes. So I'm excited to see more of this from Obi. As for right now with expectations, I just want to see him get 15 to 20 minutes off the bench every game. Come in, score, play free. I love watching the young guys play together. Kevin Knox didn't have a great game today, but Knox the past few weeks has just been incredible from deep. He's hitting his three. So when you see
number one in the league,
he was number one in the league on corner threes. Probably not anymore, but he was shooting 60% coming into this game. It began to feel like automatic every time Knox got the ball in the corner. So really good to see, like when you saw IQ, Obi, Knox together. It's all we've wanted. So Obi tonight fitting in well, getting some points, looking solid. And it's going to take him time, but game by game, we got to keep moving forward. But very happy to see Obi on the court. Very happy.
Yeah. Let's talk about Randle's numbers, which again, consistency that we're getting from Randle is great. I love it, love it, love it. He's emerged as a new player. We said he made the 180 turn. He's made the 180 turn. He is solidly giving us these numbers. I think there was one or two games back where he didn't have. I think he only had 9 or 10 points, but he's giving us this, and he's not really turning over the ball that much anymore. He's playing the team sport with the other guys, and they seem to be getting along well with him. And I like what he's bringing to each and every game. I really do.
I did a 180 on Randle, right? And it's funny, like I said, it's almost like a full 360. When we spoke about him when we got him last year, we were very excited that they could be this guy. Then last year happens, we all know what happened. No need to rehash it. This year, again, he's keeping it up. We are, 15 games in or so, and he's been really consistent. Even with the turnovers, it's not great every time, but if you watch how he's turning the ball over now versus before, it's always within him doing a good action. Last year, a lot of those turnovers were just him isoing, not looking, he had blinders on like a horse. And he's losing the ball stumbling, bumbling, and there's still a little bit of stumble and bumble here and there, but now it's coming within the context of him hitting guys for open threes, him moving the ball, him looking up and keeping his eyes open. I think he enjoys playing on this team, enjoys playing for Tibbs. I think he's one of these guys who needed a coach to be a hard ass with them. And you perform better some people perform better with people like that. Randle's one of those guys. And even when he doesn't have a great game, he's fitting in well, he's playing defense. You gotta love it. Gotta see him continue this, but he's been the best player on the team. He's consistent. I trust him now with the ball. So I'm glad we got this win because there's a lot of talk of the season being a bit derailed. We started well. Losing 5 in a row is always tough, especially when we didn't really play that well. So it kind of felt like, could we get into some bad habits? I'm glad we got this win. I think it'll settle us down a bit and we can continue going. I see we have RJ next, so we'll talk about that man as well.
RJ next with a nice 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. And RJ with his poker face, RJ does not let one down quarter or one down game before affect how he comes back out to play. The thing with RJ, and I mentioned this when you weren't here when I filmed with the two boys, his shooting seems so good, and it looks like the ball is going to go in the basket, and then it doesn't. So I want him to just practice that shot and practice till he is always getting the ball in the basket, because he has so many good looks. And when they don't go in, I'm like, damn, because it should have gone in. I'm like, why didn't it go in? Everything looks right. The angles look right. The amount of energy he put in his hand looks right. Like, he wasn't too forceful, wasn't too light. And so he just needs to get over that. And to be honest, I feel like this year is the year he's supposed to be getting to that point. Right? What he gave us tonight, again, I want to see this from him consistently. Him and Julius Randle, to me, should be our leading scorers. I mean, I know we have Burks out right now, but for me, Julius Randle and RJ Barrett should be the leading scorers for us on this team, consistently giving us 20 points a game.
Yeah, RJ, I mean, so the thing is, I'll say this with his shooting, right? And Frank had the same thing where you're like, oh, it looks good and it's going in. I think the difference with guys like that and the elite shooters is, as much as it looks good, if you look closely, you'll see a couple things that are wrong. Whereas when you look at like Kevin Durant's shoot, it's just insane. Okay. But RJ Barrett, I think for him, more than anything actually, is, I don't want to say I disagree with you on that he needs to shoot. I actually love that RJ's not just settling for the 3. RJ has spent the past few weeks just throwing up bricks from 3-point range, and it's hard to watch sometimes. And I know it's what analytics says you're supposed to do, but analytics says you're supposed to score. So if it's better to score a 2 for you than miss a 3, get some 2 points going. And I think for RJ, you see him now. I think he's way more comfortable when he gets into the lane, when he's physical, goes to the basket, when he's mixing it up. When he's just standing out there trying to shoot 3s, I feel like he's not that kind of guy. Even Melo spoke about this. When Melo was at the Rockets a couple of years ago, he said they were asking him to basically be a spot-up shooter, and Melo doesn't play well unless he's in the flow of the game. RJ, to me, I don't think RJ's ever going to be a really good shooter. I think he's going to be a good shooter, maybe very good, but he's never going to be a guy like these guys like Steve Novak was, right? Where you know who's just going to hit it every time. I think RJ's game is going to be a lot more getting to the rim, getting to the line, making moves inside, being crafty, passing. And I feel like when he gets comfortable doing that, then he steps out and takes a three, and now he's even more confident in it. So you saw today, in the second half, he hits that nice corner three. I think it was from a Randle pass. And I felt like he was way more comfortable then. He had already done his work inside. So a lot of guys, you got to work inside first, get your confidence up, get a little feel for the game, then step outside. I think.
So almost like they're going to be in a rhythm. And I'll tell you who was
a rhythm, yes.
I'll tell you who was not in a rhythm tonight. The Boston Celtics. They never found a rhythm at all through the entire game. They never got into that groove. And talking about shooting, I have to quote Walt Clyde Frazier again, because I love this quote. He said, "The NBA is not a place to learn how to shoot the ball." I love the quote because it's so right. It's so dead on. And, you know, with that losing streak that we had those last 5 games, that's how I was feeling. I was like, guys, like, you got to learn to shoot before you get to this level, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's infuriating watching Elfrid Payton, because he's been really annoying to watch, and it's hard when you have a guy like Quickley who's doing all that stuff. And then Elfrid, he's just destroying the spacing with the starting lineup. The thing is, it's not even just about Elfrid alone. It's that lineup can't really shoot, right? You got Mitchell, who never shoots, even though he posts all the time on Instagram. He's about to start shooting. He's not shooting.
Mitchell?
Yeah.
I remember the beginning of last season. We were like, oh, okay, Mitchell said that his shooting has improved, and we were waiting to watch him start making shots from like around
or taking. He's not even doing that. Mitch actually posted a couple of days ago. It's like on Instagram, he literally posted, "F it, it's time to bring it out," and it was him taking a jump shot. You still haven't seen it. That said, quick note on Mitch. I think he's been incredible this season. The Knicks they're talking about the extension for him already, which is good. I think they want to lock him in before his value goes higher. This has been easily the best Mitch season. He's been in control. He's playing hard as hell. He's fighting through I am so blown away. Honestly, out of all the young players this year, Mitch is actually the one you can say game to game has been everything you'd want. And that comes from preseason, where it was all this talk about his discipline or lack thereof. Really big props to Mitch, because I've been enjoying what he's playing. But just in terms of shooting, the Knicks finally look like a modern team tonight, right? I mean, not tonight only. We've seen it a couple of times this season. Quickley comes up, hits that three from above the break. Quickley looks like one of these fun, dynamic point guards that you see another team scoring a lot. I want to see this guy freed. I want to see him play major minutes. I want to see IQ be who he can be, and I think he's itching for it. I think Tibbs has kept him hungry, but I feel like it's time to release the beast.
Just real quick, double back on Mitchell. He is playing so much better, and I really feel that remember at the beginning of the season, we were like, what's going on with him? He looked like really out of it. We were like, we think something big is going on. Those guys, those coaches definitely got into his ear. He is playing, he got banged up today.
He did.
And we saw him using his body in a way I haven't seen him using his body before, being really aggressive. And I know he got into some foul trouble tonight. I think he had like 4 fouls. But the last few games, he wasn't getting into foul trouble anymore. It's almost like he's learned how to use his body properly. So I am definitely liking what I'm seeing with him. And we always said, that we want to see the young guys stay on the team. We want to see Mitchell. We want to see Randle. We want to see Knox. Frank, I don't know what's going on with him because we haven't.
You threw Randle in there. That's how far he's
seen him. We haven't even seen Frank, so we can't even talk about him.
Nice.
But, I'm very happy with Robinson also and seeing what he's doing.
All right, so the Knicks win finally. Hopefully, we can get some victories now. I think we're gonna keep competing for 500. Just stay around 500 all season. I am back. Happy to be back. Thank you guys for supporting us. Anything to say? Got any last words?
Not really. I want to see no, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. What I do want to see, what I saw today, which was like a really good team effort with everyone playing hard. This is what I want to see. And we have to win games. We have to win games. I mean, for the morale of the team, 5-game losing streak, we needed this win today. So, like you said, if we can stay around 500, which sounds great for the Knicks, right?
Amazing.
500, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll stay at 500, but I think they're going to keep battling. Around that. I think they're going to keep battling, even with some of the criticisms of Tibbs. He still has them playing hard. I think IQ starting is the next step. But that's it. We'll see what happens in the next game. Thank you for watching, guys. Peace. Take care.